Welcome to the Tokyo Living podcast. We have 5 people up on the screen. I think this is the busiest Tokyo Living episode we've had so far, which is very exciting. We're here to talk about executive fight nights, and we have EFN co-founder Nathan and Club 360 head boxing coach Brian, who listeners will be familiar with. But we also have two of the participants, Ayako Takayama and Daniel Kadibekov. So welcome everyone to the show.
Thank you.
Now, if you haven't already listened to episode 37, which we recorded in November last year, we talked a bit about the Tokyo Fight Nights, the event that we held last year in December at the Club 360 Higashiazuku location. Nathan talked a little bit about the history of EFN and what the event is about, and Nathan and Brian shared his experiences with the several events that he's been involved in as well. So we're not going to go into too much detail with that. But at the end of the show, we sort of talked about how, COVID situation permitting, we were looking forward to having EFN back in 2022. And Nathan, the good news is that EFN is indeed back.
Yeah, no, super excited. It's been too long. And this is number 10 too. So we were excited about getting it done in 2020. We've been going by Roman numerals. To get the big X was pretty cool. So we're super excited to have it back. And so far, everything's on track. Everything's looking good back at the Grand Hyatt. So yeah, super excited.
Awesome. And the charity is still Shine On Kids?
Yep, Shine On Kids. I think most of the audiences probably know them, especially they're based in Japan. It's such a great charity. It's something that's always resonated with us. The tagline's always been fighters fighting for the fighters. So, these guys training and jumping in the ring and fighting for kids who are fighting for, much bigger issues, cancer and other serious illness. So to be able to sort of help these guys out, and it's been such a shame for the last couple of years we haven't been able to raise the sorts of money we had in the past. So to get back on board and help those guys is awesome. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah. And it's back at the Grand Hyatt. I know in the past, the events have been, the maximum capacity around sort of 450 to 500 people in the room. Are there limits on this as a result of COVID? And what? Yeah, how does the event look at this stage?
Yeah, so at the moment it sort of goes by. The Hyatt's really good at making sure that everybody's safe and it's going to be a safe event. So at the moment there are no restrictions. So it could potentially be up to 450 people. I mean, you've been there. The ballroom's massive, super high ceilings. It's huge. It's like almost the size of a football field. But if the restrictions do come back like before, the numbers could be reduced to as low as 300. So we need to play it by ear. But if you are interested in going, make sure you get your tickets early, just in case. But as it stands, all's on track for a full event. And a lot of people have been asking, if it's going to be the same as before in terms of being at the Hyatt, the same sort of big event with all the bells and whistles. And the answer is yes, it's going to be just as big or bigger. It's going to be the same sort of, the old Las Vegas style fight night. So yeah, we're pretty happy the way things are going and be happy to be dealing with the Hyatt, who've been really good at making sure we can run a safe event to its fullest.
Fantastic. And Brian, I think we're into week 3 or week 4 of the training camp at the moment. Week 4. And so how did the selection process happen? And just sort of go into detail on the selection process, how many people you've got in the training camp, what their training schedule looks like at the moment.
Yeah, so the process was really smooth. We had a good turnout. We started with about 24 people, a little bit less. And after 3 weeks of training, we shaved it down to the final 18. We've got some big boys, we've got some ladies, and then just a general crew of real people with actually, some people with a lot of experience who can put on some real technical bouts. So the training has been really great. And we've, basically got everyone sort of hit the ground running right into sparring and partner drilling. And yeah, just like every year, you've got some people that go from, not having thrown a punch in their life to stepping in the ring, in a pretty high pressure situation there at the Grand Hyatt. So, I'm really excited, and I'm glad to be doing it after the break. So I think everybody's sort of chomping at the bit to get this thing going.
And so, as I said at the top of the show, we're lucky to have two participants on the call today. So perhaps, starting with you, Ayako, if you can perhaps introduce yourself, just give the listeners a bit of background about yourself.
Hi, good morning, guys. Sorry, I have a dog in my room.
Awesome. We've got 6 people on the show.
This is a lot. So what? A little bit background myself, or
Yes, please.
okay. So my name is Ayako Takayama. I was born and raised in Tokyo, but I was staying at the California before. So I currently work for the clinical development industry. Name is WCD. This logo.
Very good job getting that up there. Yeah, no.
And then we are working with the pharmaceutical or medical device companies and the institutions to improve quality and then clinical trial data. So that's what I do right now.
Awesome. Very
Yeah.
cool. And how long have you done boxing for?
Actually, I started kickboxing first. Maybe Brian and Nathan remember it's like almost 6 or 5 years ago. But I have been absent for a while, and then I go back to Club 360 last year, and
Yeah.
then I'm addicted to boxing right now. It's really fun.
Yeah, I heard Nathan say, Ayako's getting really into her training, but she's worried about hitting people. I've heard that's not the case now.
Yes, so I think that nowadays I realize I have a monster in my life. Yeah, and I have to like deal with it. And I think I should be okay.
That's fantastic. And so, yeah, what made you interested in signing up for ESN?
So I thought everyone says I can get fit.
Yeah.
I thought it's great before the summertime.
Yeah.
And then of course, I want to improve my boxing skill, and then not to mention for the great cause, of course.
Yeah. And have you been to an executive fight night event?
Yes, actually I have, but that was before it's 6 or 5 years ago, and it was my like audience. So I was just there and be
Yeah.
excited, and then just get drunk, and it was fun.
Yeah.
But
And then when you went to that event 5 or 6 years ago, could you have seen yourself getting up there and fighting?
no way.
No.
No, I never thought that I, get the chance to actual fight at the event, but I'm pretty excited.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's the training going so far?
It's been great. I can tell the Brian is definitely different than usual boxing class. I got scared sometimes, but it's been great. It's getting tense, but it's so much fun. But not only for the Brian, I'm still going to the Marco and the Francesco's class as well at the
Yep.
Club 360. And then they're willing, all of them are willing to teach us like how to improve our skills and then like motivate us. So it's been great.
Yeah, fantastic. And what are your sort of feelings towards the event at the moment? Are there sort of nerves building? Are you starting to sort of visualize more of the environment that you're going to be in the fight, or are you just sort of head down and focused on training?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I gotta do this.
Yeah,
That's all.
for sure. Daniel, perhaps if you could introduce yourself to the listeners.
Sure, absolutely. My story is not as interesting as Takayama-san's, but I come from Kyrgyz Republic, and I have been in Japan in and out for 8 years. I came here initially for graduate school. I spent 2 years at Kobe University, and I was recruited back in my prime minister's office back home. I worked a few years, and then I returned at the end of 2015 to work for a trading company, helping them expand foreign markets, like EU, East Africa, and some Caribbean markets. But I have moved to another area, executive search. I'm currently working as a consultant at a company called Wellington Associates, and my company is very committed to supporting and sharing the with the community. And as soon as I found out that there is this event which has been on hold for a year or two due to the COVID, I thought I would like to sign up and kind of volunteer myself to be a gladiator. The company's been supporting, and hopefully we can attract some more attention.
Yeah.
So I've clearly never been inside the ring before. Maybe that's the reason I'm so motivated and enthusiastic, and I feel like I can do great. But yeah, it's been great. Like, actually, the training has been amazing. I've learned how to move, manage my body, my breathing, and definitely it's a steep learning curve for me.
Yeah.
And I guess the main reason is just uh, it's personal, and at the same time, it's just a great cause, just helping um, uh, other people see through the challenges and fights these kids have to go through in their early lives, and not many of us are capable of doing the same courage that they have. And I thought, why don't I give it a try and see how how we can help them, in that respect, just to entertain.
Yeah, that's a fantastic perspective. Have you have you done any boxing before this event, Daniel?
No, actually, I entered the gym in January. I have done judo before, judo and samba growing up, but boxing is a completely different area, and it's very captivating. I watch every day at least one World Cup, World Championship, just to learn their tactics and moves, how to behave in certain scenarios. So yeah, it's exciting.
Oh, that's great, and it is fantastic being around the training camps when they're on, leading up to EFN, and seeing the progression that people make. But especially in the people that have never boxed before, see people come into the gym and not really being able to throw a punch, and within the course of a few months, they're actually stepping into the ring and throwing themselves into that challenge, which is really amazing to see. So thank you both of you for sharing your experience. I think it's really cool to have the participant's voice heard as well. Brian, for people who perhaps haven't attended EFN before, what can they expect if they actually go to this event?
Well, as far as people attending the event, from my perspective, I came up fighting in, the smaller, rough amateur scene and smokers, and this is vastly different, than some inter-gym competition. It is put on extremely well. The production and the refereeing and just the care taken with the fighters is great. And you normally don't get that until you've reached, in a high level of competition. However, to that degree, that is a lot of pressure on the fighters. When they have the fans and just all that production value. So, we have to train them to be ready for that intensity, because it's not quite like a normal first-time amateur match. But people can expect they will see a lot of heart. I think when we've had people like Peter Erd, very famous professionals, attend in the past, they've said, even like Kenta Yamada has said, man, I've seen lots of sort of lower level pro events or even, high level amateur events, but going to EFN is something unique and special, because people are fighting for the first time or second or third time, but they're fighting in front of their friends. They're fighting for the charity. This isn't about money. It's about something different. And that's why people really compete so hard. And, you're right there ringside, no matter where you sit. And often by the end of the fight, people are no longer sitting. They've sort of surrounded the ring. But yeah, there's a very unique feel, and it's one of the coolest, most fun events in Tokyo that I've probably been to. And I think anybody who goes, nobody is going to walk away disappointed.
Yeah, that's interesting you say, you're growing up fight. I can remember, a lot of my early fights were in what they call RSL or Return Service League clubs, where, you'd have your name called to the mat, and in between that, there'd be someone calling out a fish and chip order. It was a very, very challenging environment. So for these guys to be making a debut at the Grand Hyatt in that sort of event is really quite amazing. And I can imagine it's amazing, a lot of pressure, but an experience that they'll never forget. And everyone that goes to it just raves about how much fun it is as an event. Nathan, if people are looking at coming, I believe tickets are on sale or will be on sale next week.
Yeah, basically from today, from recording, where tickets go on sale. So as I said, I think it might sell out pretty quickly. So I recommend people getting in early. You can book tickets just via the website, which is www.executivefightnight.com. And all the details should be on there. Any other issues, of course, you can contact us directly at Club 360. And, for a lot of there's different seats, there's ringside and premium seats and other seats. So there's a seat for everyone, basically. So, tickets are on sale May 27th. Get in and see these guys in action, see all the hard work they're putting in, come to the forefront.
Fantastic. And Daniel and Ayako, any sort of last words, any last messages for the listeners? Maybe Daniel first.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's a great event just to highlight the readiness of people in the community to help out. And it's very well taught, and just, I guess, being able to gather this interest of other people to help each other and share. I think it's really great, and I look forward to attending many more of these events in the future, and hopefully, I guess, spread the word.
Thank you. Ayako?
So I just hope I can deliver the great fight for everyone who will be there. And then everyone mentioned that we have been get through the past couple of weird, crazy years. I think we all deserve a crazy, fun, excited night. So yeah, I hope I can deliver that great fight. So I will do my best.
All right. Well, thank you all for your time today. Thanks for listening, everyone. And we'll hopefully see everyone at the Grand Hyatt on May 27th, 27th, 28th, 27th. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for coming on, guys. Have a great rest of the day.